Hey, Steve Bechtel with Climb Strong. So this video and the ones that we're going to continue to be putting up after this are really a reflection of some demand we've seen from YouTube subscribers and from some of our newer members that are seeking out advice on training. And so today we're going to talk about what training is. And it's not necessarily just training for climbing. It also includes training for anything, whether it's a sport or developing a skill. And training is different from just going out and going climbing or going exercising. If you and I go for a walk, we're getting some exercise. But if we go out and we progressively try to get better at walking by increasing the duration or intensity of that activity, then we start into this world of training. And so a lot of us call our exercise when we go into the climbing gym or when we go out to the crag training. Even though there may be a training effect, unless you're very, very careful about overloading the duration or the intensity of that activity, your improvement will level off pretty quick. And so what we're going to do through this course of videos and that we've done for many years on Climb Strong is to try to break that all down, and so you can figure out exactly what you need to be doing in order to move yourself forward. Now, one of the really cool things that happens with training is you'll give yourself a specific overload and then you'll adapt to it. And the really great and easy analogy here is going out and getting a tan. You know, the summer starts, you go out and you lay in the sun for 15 minutes, and then you get a little teeny bit browner. You go out again, you lay there for 15 minutes, maybe a little bit browner. But eventually your skin has adapted to 15 minutes of sun exposure. And if you stayed out there 15 minutes a day for the entire summer, you would plateau, or you would no longer get any more tan. If I'm going to get more tan, I need to keep exposing myself to sun for longer and longer periods, or, you know, for some reason, a more intense version of the sun. And the same thing happens with training or with education or with eating or with anything. And so training is about very, very specific overloads. So when we go out and we first start climbing, it's really, really great because we can get better and better and better. And then eventually we sort of flatten out. And most people answer that plateau with projecting or with going on a trip or on-siting, and we can still edge it forward a little bit. But most of us will eventually reach this level of our maximum involvement in just going climbing. And I got to work all day Tuesday. What can I do to get better at climbing? And so then we can start taking that sport and breaking it down into its component parts to help improve at the sport. When we look at our training, we want to make sure that we're improving. Your performance, like the actual grade that you boulder or you send at the crag, can improve, and that's an indicator that maybe the training helped. But really what we're looking at improving with training is the component parts that we've identified as important to being able to be good at climbing. Being able to hang on to an edge longer, or being able to hold that edge with a bunch of weight hung off us. Being able to generate force more quickly or jump higher. But when we start measuring those things, we need to keep thinking of those only as measurements. Then we go back to training. We measure, we train, and then if those numbers improve, your body weight drops, your number of pull-ups go up, whatever, we know that the training is working. Over time, it gets more and more difficult to improve at any given thing. And so as you're working your way through your training program, you're going to see that you get a little bit better and a little bit better and less and less and less better as you train. There are some people that will work their way up to 15 pull-ups and then fight for 16 and then go back to 15, up to 16, back to 15, up to 16. And even though they're performing very, very well, their improvement curve flattens out quite a bit. And so that's where we got to get really kind of tricky with our training. And that's where we have to think about cycling, taking recovering weeks, changing the outlook of your specific sessions, things like that. But the two questions that we always ask of training is, are the two questions are, is it working, and are you enjoying it? If you can answer yes to either of those questions, it's probably a pretty good plan, right? If you're having fun, who cares if you're getting better? Or if you're getting better, you know, having fun is secondary. But if you are enjoying your training and you're getting better, you've found a really, really good training program. So what I want to talk about in the future here is how we design training in order to bring all those parts together into higher performance on the rock. But I want you to get in the mindset of looking at your performance on the rock and your ability to improve as needing training and in an organized fashion, so that you can take your schedule, your calendar, your available gym time, and make something very useful of it. I hope this video helps, and we've got a whole bunch more coming your way, so enjoy them.